Hello, friends. This is John Klein III of episode 112 of Shadow and Flame of Magic, the podcast. And today we are going to review A plus X issue 8. So let's get to it. Brr, 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 brr. Brr, brr, brr. Brr, brr, brr. Brr, 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 brr. And this is my final issue, Spider-Woman related, to tie into Madam Web, which we actually saw yesterday, or no, earlier today. And I do that review after this issue. Um, but yeah, on the cover is Kitty Pryde with Lockheed, who is falling in love with Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew. And yes, I recognize it's the wrong Spider-Woman, but I own two issues of Spider-Woman on the cover, and we did both of them. The backup story is Hawkeye and Deadpool. This was rated T. It would have cost you $3.99, and it came out in July of 2013, so Walker D wasn't even born yet. Inside cover ad is for Ultimate Spider-Man cakes and cupcakes that are available at cakes.com. So that's exciting. The credit page has a fun little exchange. What do you know about this comic book? It's A plus X. You should take a look. Avengers and X-Men pounding around, running into bad guys and taking them down. Sounds like a comic I can get behind. Can you tell me who's in it? Would you mind? My inquisitive friend, I'm glad you asked. Get ready for some phasing and some venom blasts. Avengers, Spider-Woman, X-Man, Shadowcat, and Tiny Dragon Lockheed. You can't top that. No one climbs walls and the other goes through them. What do we got for story number 2? Sewer pirates, chimichangas, guns and bulls, and Deadpool and Hawkeye being total bros. If I missed last issue, would I be confused? Just dive right in. You've got nothing to lose. Turn the page with full gusto and gumption. A plus X is built for instant conception. This is one of those comic titles that's very hard to Google. But it's Spider-Woman plus Kitty Pryde and Lockheed. And Kitty Pryde's the same font from the Kitty Pryde Shadow and Flame. And then Lockheed got his own character font. And if you follow me on Twitter at JackoSII, I have a meme I created of Lockheed Approve, and this is where I got the Lockheed logo from. This is written by Jerry Duggan, so it's very fun. Pincher Lavendor LaRocca, so it looks amazing. Colorist David Ocampo, which is very brightly written. And VC's Clayton Cowles is the letter, and it is very readable. So thank you, sir. And then there's Hawkeye and Deadpool. Writer Christopher Hastings, artist Riley Brown, Brand Armstrong, colorist VC Clayton Cowles, letter. Associate editor Jordan D. White, Nick Lowe's the editor, Axel Alonso editor-in-chief, Joe Quesada's chief creative officer, and Dan Buckley publisher, and Alan Fine executive producer. And the issue opens with Kitty and Spider-Woman with Lockheed. They're on a subway, and Kitty says, "Oh yeah, and they're wearing trench coats, which I always love a superhero in a trench coat with their costume just clearly underneath them. And these jackets aren't even tied at the waist, so they're just trench coats. I can't believe what my night has just turned into. I can't. Oh, and this page I'm going to use for the promotion, which you can find at the podcast's Twitter and Instagram page at SNFWM and spelled out. I can't believe what my night has turned into. I can't even get Lockheed to move from the comfy chair when Games of Thrones is on. But one text from Spider-Woman drags me into the city on a school night. Bro. So please tell me what is going on. And the unhoused person says, "Yeah, I think we're all interested to know what's happening. I've tracked a courier for the Russian mafia to New York for Sword. He's got a very special piece of metal from space. We don't even know where it fits on the periodic table yet. He intends to sell it to the highest bidder. It fell to Earth when that meteor exploded over Russia's Urals. And my Sunday's ruined because my dragon buddy here can smell the metal. We learned that in space during that embarrassing business of Drax and the brood hatchlings, didn't we? Yes, we did. Who's a good dragon? She starts petting him, Lockheed. He's like, roar. He got that sent. So what happened in space? Sorry, I can't talk about it. It's official swore business. So you can't tell me your secret mentions, but you can tell me in this, and you can't tell in front of our temporary between residences chum? Nobody believe him. Ain't that the truth? I hope that bum Nick Fury and you both get fired for loose lips. Nick's not around anymore, and he's not sword. Whatever. Let's just find the carrier before you can auction off the new element. I can go back to pretending I'm the mother of dragons. Which I feel like Game of Thrones was such a popular franchise that someone had to finally address that Kitty herself is the mother of dragons. Which you would think me loving a dragon as much as I do, but Lockheed Brewery is the exception to me. And Skyrim comes in a close second, and Reign of Fire with Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey. Those are my, like, I like dragons enough. But for Game of Thrones, I don't know, I can't get into it. I imagine it's because it's high fantasy, and I like my fantasy, but I don't know. It's like my sci-fi too. Like I like some humor in my X-Men or media. And Game of Thrones had some jokes, but I don't know. I did the the full first season, and we started season two, and it's also one of the shows where my wife just watched without me, and so it's hard for me to watch TV by myself. Like I'm trying to get through Prime's Generation V, and like I'm liking it, but it takes so much for me to watch a show by myself. And I'm trying to watch that WB's Tarzan. I'm 3 episodes in of 8, and it's taking me a while to get to it. But it's also one of those things where it's like, well, either I'm going to record or I'm going to play my game. But if I'm going to watch that WB Tarzan, I gotta sort of just dedicate to watching it. So if I ever get to sleep before 10, because I'm a big old nerd and I love Marvel Strike Force. Well, I don't know about love, but I'm committed to it. I've fallen out of love. But but you do play and you're out of an alliance or looking for a new one. Kitty Pryde and the Shadowcats always looking for members. I think we're back down to 4 committed members, so um, we got plenty of room. Uh, we're almost to alliance level 50, which then I could bump up all my characters. And I'm doing this thing right now where I'm spending so many resources, oh, so many to try to get the classic Green Goblin, and I just cannot get my new Avengers or Rebirth characters strong enough to win it. And it's who like I spent all my orange mats, over 30 million gold, and they still like I can get to that final round, but they just cannot be strong enough. And I'm the new Avengers is Agent Coulson and Thing, and the Rebirth is Winter Soldier, who I have max leveled. He's my 6th most powerful character. Captain America, just traditional Steve Rogers, and then Agent Venom. And I'm just like, I'm burning through my purple, and I'm not dangerously close to leveling to 97, but I mean, I'm getting there. And I don't know, I'm going to need more orange mats, and it's not stressing me, but it's like, I need to do this in like 2 days. And so, but at this point, I'm like committed. I'm like, well, whatever it's going to take, whatever it takes, Captain America style. Um, and then I'm going to get classic Green Goblin, and that'd be nice. And then never use them again. But I'm going to have these 5 very powerful characters, but clearly not powerful enough. So that's irritating. So, anyways, final round. I think I can get down to 11 of the 16, maybe 17, but eventually I just gotta do it. And I'm like ISOing them up now too, because I'm at the point now like just finish it, because you don't need a 3-star it, so that's fantastic. But it's not new user friendly at all either. So, but so if you've been playing, great. But if you're a brand new person, I don't know if I would recommend the game. Um, so yeah, Mother of Dragons got me talking about all that. And so they get down there. We see a Sorbet man has taken the form of concrete, and he's just destroying Hydra agents and AIM agents, AIM mechanics. Well, you want to say mechanics because that's what the M stands for. But then Hydra agents, I mean, Hydra ends with an A, so I don't know. So they get into the room. Kitty says, "Uh-oh. Ugh, sorry, man. Does he ever wear a shirt?" Which is like a weird choice. Like, all right. Right? He's the super villainy Iggy Pop. This is almost the weirdest thing I've seen on the subway. And then Lockheed snorts. Sorbet Man's trying to get to that meteorite, and he's just wrecking people. I guess this thing we have to do tonight, Locke, you go high. Can you keep Creel from getting his hands on the rock? If he does, he'll be unpredictable. And then Lockheed just by fashushes some AIM agents. We're gonna go with agents. They're freaking out. He's like their beekeeper hats are melting. This is real part of New York's history. Look at the tile. They don't make stations like this anymore. I should bring the students down here sometime. And Kitty gets to the meteorite. Hey, Jessica, is this rock radioactive? Are you holding it? Yes. Then nope. Then Creel gets close to Kitty and keeps trying to grab it. But she keeps phasing it. She's like, I believe your word you're looking for is tangible. I'll just leave the meteorite in this pillar so we can talk, Creel. You know, science hasn't even classified this metal yet, so why rush to turn your body into whatever it is? And he's hoping to have a metal, like a permanent form. Anyway, he breaks the pillar. He's about to touch it, and with just a tiny little poke, she phases his hand again. And then Kitty, for whatever reason, is like, fine, have your stupid hunk of metal, see if I care. And then he turns green, which is very radioactive, man of him. Now you'll be the most feared greeter at Abercrombie and Fitch. If you know you really want to improve yourself, how about serving a book? And that's fun. And we see Jessica and Lockheed taking out more AIM people. They seem to be light on Hydra fighting, which I don't know is because Jessica has Hydra history, which I forget about from time to time. I'm busy over here, Kitty, but you didn't let Creel absorb the meteorite, did you? And then we see Creel is destroying Hydra agents. Everything's good over here. Situation normal. That doesn't look normal. Roar. Oh, relax, you big baby. The biggest shock of my life was finding out I was a mutant. A close second was finding out my dragon was spying on me for his space cops, and that's a story for another time. I used to have to hold my breath, or I used to. Oh yeah, this is a great page, but I went with two other panels, but I should have went with this one. I used to have to hold my breath, or I used to think I had to hold my breath. Who knows? Maybe I didn't. I'm telling you this because after the initial shock wore off, I got scared. I thought, what if I get stuck in a wall? Oh yeah, and then the Superman is throwing his wrecking ball, not to be confused with the wrecking crew's wrecking ball. But Jessica dodges it. Whoa. Yes, I'm getting to the part that will interest you the most. Today, I can phase through objects while breathing and talking. I can make noise and phase. Anyway, Chris is losing his mind for why this monologue's happening for him, which seems rude. Like, he feels like he's all powerful. He should just be listening. Since you asked so nicely, I'll tell you. I'm going to snap my fingers then you're going to sleep. When you wake up, you will have a cure headache. The brain, even your delicate, underdeveloped one, is a sensitive pile of meat, and I assume even when you're a special space metal, you still have bodily functions. So since she puts her fingers right into his skull, disturbing the alien metal flow to your alien metal brainstem and snaps her fingers, and he just collapses. Which I don't know where the meteorite goes, but I guess they get that later. This is a great page too. I just micro-concussed some very important blood vessels inside your head from inside your head. And he just like passes out. Down goes Crusher. Anyone else want some? No? Good. The blood is already flowing back to Creel's brain, and he will be awake in a moment, so please find somewhere helpful to place him. You heard the woman. Come on, get moving. And the higher agents are nonplussed. They had to go clean up. Number one, drop the third person nonsense. Two, I still see some rubble over there. Pick up a broom and clean up the mess you made. And then this is the panel I am going to use where it's just them, like the ladies back to back with Lockheed face palming. Very cute. And Lockheed is chosen to be on Kitty's shoulder. So takes Creel. Hydra is on cleaning duty. A little while later, the boys in blue, or I should just say New York police officers, because maybe there's some ladies in here, uh, are rounding up the hench goons. Jessica has the meteorite in the briefcase again. Hopefully, science will find some wonderful, peaceful applications for this new metal. And this is the last page I'm going to use to promote it to. Or not. And we'll do this all over again when Doc Ock comes back from the grave, or Doc Brown comes back in time, or yada, yada, yada. How do you learn to do that thing with your finger while you almost killed a man? Not telling. Come on. Sorry, it's classified. What, suddenly it's not nice to keep secrets from your friends? Bye-bye, big dumb ball. And she phases the wrecking ball into the ground. So I guess no one's ever going to find it. You know, I emit a pheromone that makes women around me uncomfortable. Oh yeah, sure, that must be it. Speaking uncomfortable, hey Dragon, who you gonna come home with? And Lucky is the issue with Rut-Row, which I always love a good Rut-Row. But I like Jessica, who does have that pheromone power, like makes men attracted to her and then women unattracted to her. Except for Carol Danvers. But I like Kitty being like, yeah, that's one of your powers. Your personality's not doing that whatsoever. There was a house ad here for Prelude to Infinity, written by Jonathan Hickman, Nick Spencer, and Stefano Caselli. I believe Nick Spencer is the co-writer of that. And then the Deadpool Hawkeye one is pretty funny. They both end up using arrows. This one goon pirate, modern day pirate's like, "Arr, it's Purple Arrow and Ninja Spider-Man." And Hawkeye's like, "I can't, like, seriously?" And Deadpool's like, "Our respective new series haven't been out long. It's understandable." Breaking the fourth wall. And it's like, yeah. There's a house ad for Indestructible Hulk issue 9 by Mark Waid and Marito Scalera. Flying Just Rage Part 1, where Matt Murdock and Daredevil are helping out Hulk. Well, that's nice. And so that's the issue. And then it says next issue. This time we mean it. We had to shift the Cap Wolvie story back one issue, but it's worth the wait, we promise. Which I can't even imagine that happening in a modern day era. Which I can't believe it, but this comic is 10 years old, or soon to be 11 years old this summer. And that, everyone, is. Ugh, my phone's under 20%, so I had to click the dismiss message. And for a moment, I was like, did the last 18 minutes not record? But it's been recording, so woof. And that, everyone, was A plus X issue 8. So Madam Web we saw today, it wasn't, I don't know, I imagine it was us, a family of three, down, further down, and then, some people in the front part, and then maybe a family of like five in the back, and then I wasn't, those are the people I took note of. Um, so better turnout than the Marvel is that we watched the entire like matinee showing all by ourselves. But I really liked it. My wife, my beautiful wife, said it was good. She was like, I guess, and she's a big Origin fan, so left her okay. I guess she had some questions, but like about necessarily how the powers work. But it was like fine. Ezekiel, who I know from the JMS Amazing Spider-Man run, but made a villain though, like during the Spider Totem with the John Romita Jr. artwork, which was amazing, is amazing. Madam Web, oh no, what's her name? Dakota Johnson did that before having to pause it. Which, for whatever reason, my wife was like, "We should watch 50 Shades of Grey," which I was like, "Sure." And so we were halfway through the movie, went to see the movie, and there was a couple moments, I don't know, I imagine it was angles or whatever, that was like, oh man, like, 40 minutes ago, I was seeing this lady nude. And that felt weird. Um, Sydney Sweeney, who my wife afterwards was like, I know her from something. I was like, yeah, your White Lotus show. And she's like, oh, that's right. Who I thought played a very believable teenager. I guess the benefit of being all dressed down. Uh, was a great Julia Carpenter, though they require Julia Comwell, which I was like, I don't get that name. And the whole time I was expecting her to reveal her birth mom maiden name or something, but they never went that direction. Let me see if I get the cast, because I know one gal is Dora, all grown up, and which I know is not fair to her, but and she was in that Mark Wahlberg, the British lady who was Moira in X-Men First Class, Rose Byrne, um, movie Instant Family, and that was cute. So yeah, Isabella Merced was Anya, and Celeste O'Connor was Maddie Franklin, who I don't know her at all. I guess I can click here and find out. Oh, she's 25. All right. Oh, she was in A Good Person, which I want to watch. Oh, she's the gal from Ghostbusters Afterlife. Well, I do know her. And gonna be in the Frozen movie. The Frozen Ghostbusters movie, that is. So yeah, I know her as well. And, well, they're pretty good. They are only in the costumes and flash forwards. Um, but yeah, I thought it was pretty well. She did go to Peru, and I was like, oh yeah, there was a moment too where I was like, oh, so Dakota Johnson's made to be the 30-year-old watching 20-year-olds, but I was like, all right, she must not have loved that. And then we get into some spoilers here. Um, so you can stop the episode now or go forward a couple minutes, as we're gonna end with what comics are on sale this week. But oh yeah, and happy President's Day, everyone. I knew I was gonna watch the movie, and then so I was like, well, we can do the Sunday episode Monday night, no harm. So that's why the tape. And then I thought we was going to just do a pure Madam Web episode, but Walker D could not get on the same schedule as him, so you missed out on it, or I missed out on it. But okay, spoilers. The movie does turn Madam Web blind and in a wheelchair, and so there was a moment where, like, and as soon as you see her eyes are blue, I was like, oh man, I wonder if she's going to be in a wheelchair after this, and they did it. And that was pretty amazing. Adam, and they do call him Adam Scott Ben Parker, which neither my son or wife like elbowed me and was like, "Hey, Ben Parker." It's like, yeah, this is happening, everyone. And the movie's a period movie, so it takes place in 2003, and they make a big point of doing it with like a Britney Spears "Toxic" song, as well as like a big Beyonce poster and some commentary on what surveillance footage is possibly going to do. I'm looking at this cover of A plus X 8, and it really is a great cover. I do not see any names on here of who the cover artist is. Um, but yeah, but I thought all the costumes looked legit, so that was awesome. And Emma Roberts doesn't play Aunt May, but is in fact Mary Parker. And Richard Parker's away doing something. And he did not sound like a job that was full of danger, but just like it was like a travel agent. So, and Ben Parker does say he's just now dating a lady. And so, it's getting pretty serious. So that's clearly Aunt May. So I guess we're led to believe that either they got divorced and Uncle Ben is just a paramedic somewhere, or maybe he dies in the next 10 years. And so those are the two options, I guess. And clearly, Emma Roberts dies at some point with Richard Parker. I imagine so the Vulture can one day come back and use them as clones and haunt Peter's thought, like, life for a little bit and wreck him. All at the hands of Harry Osborn. Legit comics. Comics I adore though. Like those are my early, like my '90s comics, Spider comics. Um. So yeah, Madam Web. I liked it. I dug it. Some fun like flash forwards and her learning her powers. But yeah, for the most part. Oh, and we do see Dakota Johnson in the Madam Web costume. So I was like, yeah, like they did it. Like all promises held. And now let's see what comics are on sale this week. Okay, I clicked on show variants and the number did not change from 19. So, all right, Marvel.com. So, X-Force 49, that promises a Beast or, Defenders Beast and Wonder Man back doing a giant size homage. Incredible Hulk 9, Daredevil 6, Gods 5, which I believe is supposed to be 5 of 8. So that's slowly coming. Captain Marvel 5, Marvel Superhero Secret Wars Battle World 4, Black Suit Spider-Man with Falcon, Amazing, or Iceman, Human Torch, and Daredevil. Which was Daredevil in Secret Wars? I guess he didn't do much. By Tom DeFalco and Pat Olive, which if you're a Spider-Girl fan, it just feels like a great comic. Still no Lockheed representation in that series, so that's not great. Um, Gang War is still going on. Century 3, I guess, is a thing. Oh yeah, here we go. Rise of the Powers of X2. See if we get any more origins of Shadow Tiger. I doubt it. But I'm imagining it's going to be better than the first issue, which I just did not connect with. Ultimate Spider-Man 2. So I don't know if that one's going to get sold out, but could possibly. And then we get an Edge of Spider-Verse one that looks like a... Oh yeah, Edge of Spider-Verse Weapon 8, which looks like a Cyclops-looking guy with some spider claws coming on the back of him. Let's see if that's anything. And Guardians of the Galaxy Annual Number 1, which I doubt Kitty Pryde shows up in, but that'd be fun. So we'll see if we have an issue this week for Rise of the Powers of X. If not, um, I guess I'll just do another back issue on Sunday. So, I think that's everything going on at the time. Uh, I did get my shipment of Mile High Comics, so that was my birthday present. I waited until the new code word where I can actually get back issues steeply discounted, so that was nice. Um, so you can hopefully I'll probably record that sometime this week. And so that'll be on my YouTube channel at Jacko SII. And that's also the name at Twitter and Instagram, though I don't really do anything on Instagram on my name. But thank you everyone for listening, and I'll talk at you later this week or next week. And thanks for listening. Ask a friend to listen and subscribe and try and get the numbers up. And I will talk to you next time. All right, everyone. Bye. And thanks for listening.